Whoa. What is going on here? Warner Brothers, we bring you a special announcement in honor of Tolkien Reading Day and the destruction of the One Ring. We got Peter Jackson right here. What is the special announcement? What is going on? Let's find out. Let's watch this and find out together. I did not expect this. I literally just came back from from MegaCon, and they did like this whole 25th anniversary of Lord of the Rings because it's the 25th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring. So I'm in a Lord of the Rings mood, and then we have this announcement. So we'll see what's happening here.
Well, hi everybody. I thought it was time to give you all a Hunt for Gollum update.
First
of many that we'll do, little blogs along the way. And Andy Serkis has been busy designing the film.
Pause it right there. I love that about Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. The behind the scenes look is so good. But I don't know if they did it with Lord of the Rings because I wasn't tapped into the lead up to when the movies came out. You know, I only watched the movies much later after they came out. And I've been a massive Lord of the Rings fan ever since. But with The Hobbit, I love that during the build-up of The Hobbit, during the making of The Hobbit, they were showing you behind the scenes like production videos of them making the movie while they were making the movie. I thought that was super cool, and it looks like we're getting that with The Hunt for Gollum, which is really cool.
He's going to direct it and obviously play Gollum. We've got a lot of the old team back again, familiar faces and some new faces, but Andy's doing a terrific job. It's looking amazing. The script is coming together really well, and I think it's going to be a really good film, But that is not the only Tolkien movie that we're developing. We've actually got another film that we'll be making after Hunt for Gollum. So I thought I should tell you a little bit about that. Actually, why don't I get somebody else to explain it? Because we've got a very special partner that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on. There we go. Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Stephen. Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good. Good. I like all your Tolkien stuff on the wall there. That's that's hard.
Oh, thanks. This is just part of the collection.
So I was just explaining to the folks about the next Tolkien movie after Hunt for Gollum, and the fact that we've partnered up with you to develop the script. So
yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Should I tell people what the?
I don't know how I feel about that. To Stephen Colbert to develop the script, he can't be the sole writer of this thing. I don't trust this. Stephen Colbert writing, I've never seen anything that he's written, at least that I know of. I don't know about this. He's a massive Lord of the Rings fan, but does that mean he can write a competent movie script? What is the story about? Let's find out.
Story is?
As much as you want. Yep.
I will, as much as I can. You know what the books mean to me and what your films mean to me. But the thing I found myself reading over and over again were the 6 chapters early on in the Fellowship that y'all never developed into the first movie back in the day. It's basically, the chapter is 3 is Company through Fog on the Barrow Downs. And I thought, oh, wait, maybe that could be its own story that could fit into the larger story. Could we make something that was completely faithful to the books while also being completely faithful to the movies that you guys had already made? And I started talking it over with my son, Peter, who's also a screenwriter. And we worked out what we thought would work, especially as a framing device for that story. And it took me a few years to scrape my courage into a pile to give you a call. But about 2 years ago, I did. You liked it enough to talk to me about it. And ever since then, the two of us have been working with the brilliant Philippa Boyens on how to develop this story. And we recently took it to Richard Brenner at New Line and Pam Abdy and Mike DeLuca at Warner Brothers. And I could not be happier to say that they loved it. And so that's what we're going to be working on.
Fantastic. Now, are you sure you've got the time, though? Because
let me pause it right there again. See, you got to take all of this with a grain of salt, because I do feel a little bit better that Philippa Boyens is on board, but then Philippa Boyens was on board with that War for the Rohirrim animated movie, and that wasn't anything great, you know? And then also, you're seeing Peter Jackson here on board, too. You're thinking, holy cow, Peter Jackson signed off on this. This is fantastic. remember, Peter Jackson has been, WB is going to be putting out multiple Lord of the Rings projects. Okay, Peter Jackson, Philippa Boyens, and Fran Walsh have been on board since the get-go, since the inception. They came to them, WB came to them and said, "Hey, we want you to be involved in this creative process of putting Tolkien and Middle Earth back on the map of Hollywood, because we want that money, right?" So the motivation here is not solely a creative endeavor. Okay, it is money. Okay, and so I don't know if this is going to be a good project. I was excited for War of the Rohirrim when it came out, right? Knowing the people that were involved, but then look how that turned out. So same way here. I don't know how this is going to turn out. And then again with the Hunt for Gollum movie, I love Andy Serkis. Fantastic, probably one of the most underrated people in Hollywood. Okay, but I think he directed one of the Venom movies. Those movies, the Venom movies, all of them are so bad. They are. I don't understand how people like them. I can't even bear to watch them. They're that bad. But he also did Mowgli. Okay, Mowgli was great. I liked Mowgli a lot. So we'll see. The script is going to dictate a lot of this. And if Stephen Colbert is one of the main contributors, I don't know how that's going to be, because I don't know Stephen Colbert's work in this area, right? We'll look all this stuff up in a bit.
That I did not think I would have the time. As much as I love it, I knew I couldn't do that and do the show at the same time. But it turns out I'm going to be free starting this summer.
Well, isn't that fortunate?
Isn't that a catastrophe right there? So if you'll excuse me, I've got to finish a television show and I've got to write a movie script, but I will see you all in the Shire.
Okay, alrighty, bye-bye. See you, Stephen.
Thanks, Peter.
Bye-bye.
Okay, this is actually getting me a little bit more excited. I'm looking up the chapters. 3 is Company to A Fog on the Barrow Downs. We're getting Tom Bombadil. We're getting this is going to be, okay, this might be pretty cool. We're getting Tom Bombadil. But then, okay, so are we getting Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, Dominic Monaghan, and Billy Boyd back to play the Hobbits? I don't know. Okay, let's go and read the synopsis for each of these chapters. So 3 is Company. Frodo Baggins sells Bag End and officially is going to move to a house at Crickhollow in the area of Buckleberry and Buckland. He actually plans to disappear without causing too much of a fuss. Frodo, Sam, and Pippin set out through the east farthing of the Shire towards Buckland and encounter a Black Rider. They also meet Gildor, the elf, leading a party of elves. So we're pretty much getting a bit more comprehensive look at the start of their journey. I don't know how you're going to stretch that out for an entire movie. It was already odd that they stretched out The Hobbit to 3 movies, and you saw how that turned out. Now we're stretching out a few chapters into a full movie. We'll see. Frodo and this is the second chapter that they're adapting. Frodo and the company meet Farmer Maggot while taking a shortcut, and he gives them some of his prized mushrooms. Merry joins them at the end. I mean, this would be I miss the Shire. Okay, it's like the Hobbit. The tone of the Hobbit wasn't where it should have been, and I miss that tone that we got in Hobbiton and the Shire, that we had in Fellowship of the Ring. So it will be nice to go back to that, as long as we get Howard Shore's score back, and we get the cast back. That would be really cool. But stretching it out into an entire feature film is a bit odd. This chapter takes place at Frodo's new house at Crickhollow. The title refers to Frodo about to tell Merry and Pippin about his quest, which he had previously believed they did not know about. They reveal that they had known much of it all along. They also meet Fredegar Bolger. Frodo decides to leave the next day through the Old Forest, as it is an unexpected direction, rather than traveling on the roads. Now the next chapter, the Old Forest. Although trying to avoid it, the hobbits get lost and travel to the river Whitwindle, and the queeriest part of the whole wood. Merry and Pippin are trapped inside Old Man Willow and are only freed when Tom Bombadil arrives. This is going to be like the crux of the movie. This is going to be like the main event here. Tom Bombadil knows much about the hobbits who are staying at his home and even tries on the One Ring. Yet, it does not have any effect on him. Frodo tries on the ring then to see if it works, and Tom Bombadil is also able to see him while he has the ring on. If we delve into Tom Bombadil a bit more, if we go to his backstory and stuff, you might be able to flesh it out and make a bit longer of a movie. Fog on the Barrows Down. Traveling through the Barrows Down, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin are imprisoned by Barrow Wights and are soon rescued again by Tom Bombadil. The hobbits are each given a dagger of Westernese by Tom, found in the treasure of the Wights' barrow. And then the next chapter is at the Sign of the Prancing Pony, and you guys obviously know what that's about. So this leaves me very cautious. I'm very cautious, like wary about this movie. I'm worried about the pacing. How will the pacing be? You can tell a small, quaint story with not much going on, and it be paced well because because the writer knows how to write characters and how to build the scene and the world and all of that stuff. But you need a skilled writer. Is Stephen Colbert a skilled writer? Well, let's find out. All right, so I'm on Stephen Colbert's IMDb page, and let's see his previous writing credits. He's got 37 previous writing credits. I have not seen any of this. A lot of the stuff for his show. Daryl Gorin, what is that? It's a little short. We probably should check this out. Daryl Gorin, the mysterious brother of Aragorn, is one of the unsung heroes of Middle-earth who finally gets his own adventure. It probably was a parody on his show or something like that. Yeah, it's literally all for his TV show, or like what are those type of shows? Those late night talk show type of shows. Okay, over here we might have something. He's the creator and writer for this TV show Exit 57, which is a 30-minute sketch comedy featuring Stephen Colbert that aired on Comedy Central. Okay, but still. Okay, so there's no experience, nothing like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or anything like that. So I don't have confidence in Stephen Colbert to write this movie. So Philippa Boyens is going to be the backbone of this project. So this is Philippa Boyens. This is where we're going to put all our faith into, because we can't really trust Stephen Colbert based off his track record. He doesn't really have much to show for. But Philippa Boyens, what did she do? She wrote Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King, King Kong. So she is, she definitely has experience. My only issue is she worked on where is it? Lord of the Rings, The War for the Rohirrim. But see here, look, she just wrote the story. So she didn't write the actual screenplay, the script for this. Who wrote the actual script? Okay, so this is actually giving me a bit more hope. The screenplay was written by Jeffrey Addis, Will Matthews, Phoebe Gittins, and Artie Papagiorgio. So not Philippa Boyens. The overall story is written by Philippa Boyens, but she did not write that movie. That's a good thing, because that would have tainted her a little bit. I think they just wanted Philippa Boyens' name attached to this, so they got her to write the story, and then they got somebody else to do the screenplay. Similar thing what they're doing with this movie. I feel like half of the reason why they got Stephen Colbert on board or more than half the reason why they got Stephen Colbert on board is because he is known to be a massive Lord of the Rings fan. Same reason why they got Philippa Boyens and Peter Jackson on board with this new wave of Middle-earth movies, because people know them from Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. They have faith in them. The fans have faith in them. The fans love them. So by getting them on board, WB is saying, hey guys, look, we have Peter Jackson, the guy that you love. He's coming back to help us make Lord of the Rings movies, so don't worry, they're going to be good. They're trying to win the favor of the audience. Now, some of you might be saying, wait, but she did the screenplay for the Hobbit movies. Those movies aren't good, so how can we trust her? Well, I don't blame Philippa Boyens. I don't blame Peter Jackson. I don't blame the people, the creatives involved with The Hobbit for The Hobbit. I blame WB entirely. That was completely rushed. If you guys know what happened with she did Lovely Bones. That movie was fantastic. Okay, so I have complete faith in Philippa Boyens. But with The Hobbit, if you guys know the backstory of The Hobbit, they had Guillermo del Toro come in. He did like 2 years of pre-production work, and then backed out of the project. Then Peter Jackson stepped in because he felt a sense of responsibility for Middle Earth. The thing is, WB didn't give him 2 years of pre-production because he had a different vision than Guillermo del Toro, obviously. So it was an insanely hectic time, the making of those movies. Peter Jackson literally went from skinny to obese, and they were like with Lord of the Rings, they had costumes and everything done years in advance. With The Hobbit, they were literally making things and bringing them to set the day of. It was literally insane. So I don't hold The Hobbit against Philippa Boyens or Peter Jackson. This movie, whatever it's going to be called, it could be good. It could be really good. I trust Philippa Boyens enough to deliver something solid. The variables that are I'm not sure about is WB interference, executive interference, the motivation behind this project, Stephen Colbert. So and how is the pacing going to be? You're adapting 3-4 chapters and you're making it into full feature film. How is that going to work out? So those are my worries. Would it be interesting? Would it be cool? Would it be fun to dive back into the world of Lord of the Rings, into Middle Earth, into the Shire, seeing the hobbits again, seeing Frodo, Sam, Pippin, Merry, seeing them again, and getting to see Tom Bombadil on the big screen? Would that be cool? Yeah, that would be awesome if done correctly. So I am cautiously, I don't even want to say cautiously optimistic. I am intrigued, while at the same time I'm unsure of how this is going to play out. So we'll see. I got to see more information. And with regards to The Hunt for Gollum, are they getting Viggo Mortensen back? Oh dear. This is not good. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Aragorn's quest to capture Gollum between The Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring, tracking him to keep the ring's location from Sauron. The film explores Aragorn's early adventures as a ranger. We knew that, okay? We knew Andy Serkis was directing. We knew Philippa Boyens was writing. But, frick. Remember, we just looked at The War for the Rohirrim. Look who wrote it. Phoebe Gittins, Artie Papa Giorgio. Phoebe Gittins, Artie Papa Giorgio. And I don't see Aragorn in the cast yet. We just have Kate Winslet, Andy Serkis, Elijah Wood, and Ian McKellen. I mean, Viggo Mortensen's got to be in this because it's literally centered around him, right? But this is not good right here. Oh, Philippa Boyens is doing the screenplay, not just the story. So right now it depends, and Fran Walsh is involved as well. Okay, that's good, unless IMDb is completely wrong about this. The addition of Phoebe Gittins and Artie Papa Giorgio, it has me worried because they worked on the War for the Rohirrim, and that movie left some to be desired. Okay, with this. I don't know. It depends on the power hierarchy in the writing room. Where does Philippa Boyens sit? Where does Fran Walsh sit? Is Phoebe and Artie doing the majority of the writing, and Philippa and Fran just guiding, or did Philippa and Fran just do the story like she did in War for the Rohirrim, and Phoebe and Artie are doing the main writing for the screenplay? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see once we have more information. But I'm worried about these new projects. I don't know. Nothing is going to capture the magic that was Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. The amount of effort and passion and time put in to that project, that does not happen nowadays. Okay, that doesn't happen nowadays. That movie was made in a special time where it was like a magical blend between the way movies were made in the 90s and early 2000s with the effects, the special effects that Hollywood brought at the time. So it was made at like the perfect time for those movies to be made. Nowadays, the way Hollywood works and the way movies look nowadays, I'm really worried about both of these projects, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully they turn out well. Hopefully they turn out good. I want Hunt for Gollum to be fantastic because Andy Serkis is directing, and I want him to knock it out of the park. But we'll have to see. I want to like these movies, The Hunt for Gollum and this new project. I want to like them. I'm a big fan of Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, Tolkien. So I want to like these. I want these things to be good. But we'll have to wait and see. If I had to guess, neither of these movies are going to come anywhere near close to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It's not going to capture that magic at all by far. If that's just me guessing right now, I might be proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong. I hope they're at the same level, but I highly doubt they're going to be. Even if we are 70 or 80% there, I would be pleasantly surprised and I'll be happy. So let me know, what do you guys think about both of these projects, The Hunt for Gollum and this new project from Stephen Colbert that's going to adapt Three's Company, A Shortcut to Mushrooms, A Conspiracy Unmasked, The Old Forest, and In the House of Tom Bombadil, and Fog on the Barrels Down. These chapters right here. What do you think? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapters that they're going to adapt into a movie. Let me know, what do you think about all of this down below in the comment section, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.